Hey guys, today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a homemade Kontrol Freek to use on Xbox 360, PS3, PS4, Xbox One, any kind of remote with an analog stick. For me, I'm going to be doing it for my Xbox 360 remote. Alright, so all we're going to be needing today, you're going to need some scissors. You're also going to need a Soothie Pacifier or any kind of pacifier that has this kind of rubber tip. You're also going to be needing the rubber tip off of a door spring. You can find these behind like any door in your house. They stop the doors from hitting the wall. They should have a little rubber tip like this on them and you can just pull it right off. You can also try to use a chapstick cap, but I prefer to use the door tip just because I think it works better. Alright, so step one, you're going to take your scissors and you're going to want to cut the base, this circle part here, off of the pacifier. All you're going to be needing is the rubber tip part. Now you might also be able to use a box cutter. It might make slightly cleaner cuts than the scissors, but I feel like scissors are the easiest things to find. Alright, so after all that, you should have a piece that kind of looks like this. Now you're going to want to cut this tip off, the rounded tip. You're going to want to cut that off. So you just take your scissors right at the base of where it starts and just kind of cut the tip off. That way you're left with kind of a lampshade shape where you've got a bigger opening over here and a smaller one on this end. Alright, now you're going to be taking your rubber door stop and you're either going to try to push it through the larger opening on the bottom, or you can get any kind of item in your house that helps you stabilize it. I chose this little crazy glue thing to try to stretch the silicone of the pacifier. That way it's easier to get on. So I'm going to try to stretch it kind of down here. That way it kind of stretches it out for me. Alright, now that it looks like this, I'm going to try to maneuver the rubber tip kind of to get inside the edge here and see if it'll stretch around the rubber tip. This is definitely the most difficult part of the entire process. Alright, so now I kind of have it looking like this here. It's kind of starting to go on. I'm going to try to move the silicone of the pacifier up and around the rubber tip. So it's kind of going slowly. You just kind of push it up and kind of twist at the same time. That way it starts, each part kind of goes up evenly. So now we've made a little bit of progress, not much, but I'm just going to keep going till it's about flush, kind of even with the end of the rubber tip. Now I'm kind of taking it off. It looks like this. I'm almost there. What I'm going to try to do is kind of flip this inwards. So now it kind of looks like this shape. And push down on the rubber tip and kind of folding this up to trying to get it up to the top of this rubber tip. Alright, so by the time that you're done trying to push the rubber tip in, it should kind of look like this. You've got it kind of flush with the top here, and on the bottom, it's okay if there's a little bit of the rubber tip sticking out. That's okay. Now you just want to kind of flip it out. Now it kind of looks like this. Now that's where your thumb would go. This is the joystick part. Alright, so now you're going to take your controller, Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS3, PS4, whatever console you're using. You're going to take your homemade Kontrol Freek that you just made, take the silicone, and flip it up and around the rubber tip. Alright, so you're going to take your Kontrol Freek and put it in the center of the left analog stick. That's the stick that controls your vision. Place it right in the center, click it down. That way you hear the click noise, you hear it? And flip the silicone over the analog stick. Now because of that flip motion that we did, you should see a slight suction effect done on your analog stick. As you can see, we can pick up the controller just by the Kontrol Freek. We can move the controller around. It's not popping off or anything like that. It's on pretty tightly just due to that suction effect that you get from that flip. As you can see, we have a free range of motion. If you have any resistance going any kind of direction, you might have some excess silicone around the sides here that you might need to cut off. But as far as I can tell with this Kontrol Freek that I've made, I've got free range of motion. It's not coming off or anything like that. I'm using a lot of force as you would playing any kind of video game. You can still hold it by the Kontrol Freek. It's not popping off. As you can see, you get that suction effect. You hear the little pop? That's what keeps it on. It's also optional to buy the controller thumbstick caps, and you could put the cap on top of this and give it more of a thumbstick look. Now the reason I like this Kontrol Freek a lot more, it stays on tight, it looks okay. I see a lot of people on YouTube that just have taped pennies to their thumbstick, which I think looks pretty terrible. Someone else on YouTube did one that was a balloon stretched around, so this is kind of the same concept. You get that kind of suction effect here. It's also really cheap to make. The pacifiers that we use, they're maybe a couple bucks. To get the little door stops, if you don't have them, they're probably $1. You might spend $5 at the most trying to make this, when other Kontrol Freeks on the market go for $15 to $18. I also like to use the pacifiers because it just feels a lot better when playing the games, and it looks, I think, a lot nicer than other designs. It's also nice that you can buy these in almost any color that you like, as long as it has that same kind of rubber tip that we use. You could get blue, green, pink, whatever they got. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. You have a wonderful day. I hope this Kontrol Freek works for you. Let me know down below in the comments what game you plan on playing with this Kontrol Freek, and let me know if it worked for you.